Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. I hope you're having a good morning. It's pretty early here, about 7:22. I meant to start earlier, but here we are anyway. Oh well. It's pretty dark. It looks like it's earlier, it's just not. This is Flosstube number 38, and it's September 4th. And I just realized next week will be my Flosstube anniversary. Wow, 1 whole year. That's crazy, but thank y'all for hanging out with me. If you're new here, this is a channel about cross stitch and some other stitching crafty stuff, but mainly about cross stitch. If you're not, thanks for coming back and hanging out and spending time with me, since this is the only company most of us are getting these days. So yay. At least we have each other, because we're not seeing much of anybody else if you're me. So we will jump right into questions and comments and try to power through those real quick. Kay says she loves her 10-inch square Hardwick Manor hoop. She wraps the inner one with twill tape. I had to reach out to y'all because I don't use a hoop very often, and I've never had a Hardwick Manor one. I've seen, I think Deb and Liz use them. I think I've seen using them. So, but I had to reach out to you guys because I had no clue how to answer that. JL said Luden's has a herbal cough drop with 1 milligram of melatonin for sleep. I'm gonna look for some of those this weekend to try to get some sleep, although I can take 10 milligrams of melatonin and nothing. So some days it's just like that. Counting my stitches. Oh my gosh, she said her mom and her mom's mom were all together. And you know, when that happens, you have, if your grandmas, which the littles have at Justin's parents, there were grandma and grandma. They were all grandmas. And so he got very aggravated trying to figure out which one, you know, because they all had the same name. It was very frustrating for him. So he got really aggravated and stomped his foot, said one had to be grandma and one had to be oh grandma. I hope that went over well. And it wouldn't have around here. I know when, because Dax has 2 Mimis, and when he called Brandon's mama Grandma Mimi and my mama Oh Mimi, she was not very happy about that. But I mean, we're all old, right? I mean, but I always said all along, as long as my grandkids call me something, I don't care what they call me. As long as they just want to talk to me and call me something. So I don't know, it might be different if they called me something I did not like, but, and y'all, I did not bring my glasses over here, and I forgot to put my contacts in, so we're gonna have to try to read my horrible writing. These are y'all's anniversaries. Y'all are always I'm amazed. In Black Ribbon Studio, I don't find where I have your name on here, but she is 46 years married. Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna laugh at me blinking trying to read these. Nancy, 41 years, Patty, 29, Jenny, 42, Jean, 38, Linda, 51, Kristen, 36, Mary, 52, Joan, married 44, dated 10, so she's really been together 54, Mary, 59, Carol, 46, Debbie, 47, Cheryl, 55, and 36, Sherry 52. But this time Kim caught my attention first, and she's been married 40 years to a 27-year veteran. So I asked you please thank him for his service, and hers also, because the family serves right alongside the service person. So thank you very much, and y'all amaze me with that because it ain't easy. And Nancy tried to help me pronounce Mayers, and I don't know if I still said it right. I don't know if it's Mayers or Mears, but I hope I did it somewhere. Susie also said about the hoops, a 10-inch square is her favorite unless she's gonna hold, she loves her 10-inch square Hardwick if she's putting it on her stand, but if she's gonna hold it in hand, she says she likes the 8-inch better. It's easier for holding. It's just easier for her to get a hold of, and not, you know, the weight doesn't hurt her hands as much. Oh my gosh. And Susie was talking about when they were kids, some of the older kids convinced some of the younger ones to lay on top of the barn and see if the buzzards would come pick them up. Y'all, around here, the buzzards don't play. We have those black Mexican buzzards, and they'll pick up your dogs and everything. I mean, they don't joke around. So when, and Grandma evidently knew this, and so when she seen it, the bigger kids got a whooping for convincing the little kids to do that. Older kids are always doing things to little kids. I don't know why. When I was younger, Jackie Jo was my cousin, and she come in and told me that my parents had been in a bad wreck at the end of the street, and they were dying. If I didn't run down there, I wouldn't get to see them before they died. So of course I took out running down the street, and then my mama had to come after me. Of course I got my butt whooped for running out of the yard. I don't know if Jackie Jo got in trouble or not. She probably didn't gone home by then, and she didn't come over that much. So I was probably the only one that got a whooping for it. But man, older kids can be mean. I just know that. Tammy and several of the y'all had checked on Sister and wanted an update. She does have the disc problem in her back like they knew she had before, but she had been moving pots and gravel and mulch and everything around, and he said that it exacerbated it. And what they see right now is that she had a severe muscle spasm. And he said sometimes usually if people have a real severe muscle, it makes you, you'll be in a wheelchair. So they did some x-rays yesterday, and they want to do an MRI and some other things. But for now, she is a little bit mobile. She can get around. She taught some this week. She didn't practice much, but she taught some. So that is an improvement. So thank y'all for checking on her. And Tana's 50th birthday was last Saturday. Gwen had a birthday, I think, on Saturday too. Happy birthday to y'all. Shirley's was Sunday. So thank y'all's birthdays last week. Kathy did say that, thank y'all for hanging out with me on y'all's birthday weeks, is what I'm trying to say. Kathy had been married 48 years, and she said she has hers broke in, and she ain't wanting to try to break in another one. Now listen, once you get one house trained, that's fact. Ain't nobody wanting to go through that again. Once you get one house trained, ain't nobody wanting to go through that. When James and I were first married, he would raise the lid, but he would leave urine on the rim, and it just grossed me out. I don't know why I don't sit on it, but it's just gross. And so we would argue back and forth about it, and I've told y'all, ain't neither one of us nice. And he would say, well, if it bothers you, you wipe it up, it don't bother me. And over the years, he's become more and more neat. He has always been fairly neat, but he's become more and more neat and things like that. I think when he worked construction with a lot of guys, he wasn't as neat then as he is now. And it just rode my nerves. So I decided I figured out a way to fix it myself. So in a couple of weeks, he made a comment about, well, I see you've quit hounding me about the toilet rim, and you've gone to taking care of it yourself. And I said, I sure have. I sure have. I do wipe it off myself with one of your clean shirts out the closet. I go get one of your clean shirts out the closet, and I come wipe the toilet rim with it, and I hang it right back up, and then you go on and wear it, never knowing. So I do take care of it real good. Ever since then, my toilet rim is spotless. So I'm just saying, you can house train them. It ain't easy. It's like training a cat, but you can do it. It can be done. You have to be mean, and you have to be hard-headed, but you can do it. It can be done, ladies. For what it's worth. I don't know that it's worth it, but it can be done. And yes, I could have just wiped it off with something else, but I'm not nice. I done told y'all that. I am not nice. And Darlie sewed through her poor finger. Lord have mercy. The picture like to made me faint, and she's just had her husband pull it out with a pliers. Grief. It was sticking right through there. But we were talking about, she's got some 40 count and was trying to stitch, and how you have to have, I'm telling y'all, I have my crazy light on, my right over like this. If I have my contacts on and my readers on, it's getting hard. It is hard. So I may have to break down and get me one of those little light things. Oh, Zan is looking for A Little Bee by Lizzie Kate. So if any of y'all sees that, has that, knows where there is one, give a shout out, or has one you're willing to part with, holler, because Zan is looking for Lizzie Kate Like a Little Bee. And I have a Lizzie Kate update on another page, so Zan, be listening for that. Let's see. Oh, Carla, her brothers and her cousins, now she was 4 and they were 6 and 7, put her in a shopping cart, an old shopping cart they found, and pushed her down a steep hill. Well, of course, she had to get stitches and everything else and scratched her all up and all this. But what in the world? I think her brother wanted to be an only child, but I don't know about that for sure. But it made me think about when my daddy was a kid and Jimmy White was his best friend, and we grew up with his kids. Peggy and Johnny and James and Lynn, we were friends, and my daddy and Jimmy growing up were best friends. So, but when Daddy and Jimmy and Alvin, all of them were kids, for whatever reason, and not little kids, I mean, they were like early high school age probably. I mean, they should have known better. They got a cotton cart, you know, a cotton wagon. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It has like chicken wire kind of around it, and the cotton bolls go in it after it's harvested like this. They got in one and decided they was gonna ride that thing down Jet Mountain's what we called it. It was just like a real steep, like this. Of course, they all got nearly dead. What gets in your mind when you're young? I don't know. It's, And poor Sherry had the hurricane last week. Any of y'all that have had these, that were in the hurricane, praying for y'all. That was a horrifying thing. Some of the pictures, and right now the flooding up in Denton, the streets, the cars were halfway underwater. The wildfires out in California. Y'all be careful, take care, check in from time to time so we know y'all are okay. And Barbara said, thanks for the hoop help about the hardwick hoops. And when I mentioned the E6000, y'all, I had no clue. She said that it is a waterproof glue, which I could understand because I think E6000 could stick anything together. They probably build a space shuttle with it. But it's waterproof, and she uses it to bling out her daughter's synchronized swimming suit. I wouldn't have thought it would work on like a flexible fabric like that. I would have thought it would cause it to get stiff and then the fabric would break. But so evidently it is such an incredible bond, but it doesn't get hard so it won't break. So I thought that was interesting to pass on, which is what I need to put my magnets on with instead of my glue gun. But usually I'm being impatient and stick them on the glue gun and then they don't stay stuck. So E6000 is even more incredible than I thought. Bonnie, I sent the link to Good Housewife, but I didn't see the Ida Mae Crow on there either. So, but I know that's where I got it, but it says she's taking a break. So hopefully she'll get back to you. And somebody else mentioned it too. So hopefully when y'all hear from her, let me know if she has some or she just doesn't have them listed or what. Jan said that she buys cheap readers like at the dollar store. And then when she gets mad at her husband or whatever, you know, she can just rip them off and chuck them across the room and you don't have to worry because they don't cost but a couple of dollars and you're gonna get you another pair. I am the queen of losing it. I know that's not a good thing to be queen of. Some people are queen of the world, queen of the kitchen. I wish I could say I was queen of the cross stitch. I am not. I am queen of losing it. And when Micah was in high school, she was dating this boy, and he has a very nice family, and they're very nice, quiet, like calm people, like water off a duck's back, just like all the time. Well, we were playing dominoes, as the girls call them. James and them love to play 42 and 84, and I can play. It's not my favorite thing. I can play it. And they play like for reals, like life or death, the future of the world rides on these games, okay? That's the way my grandma played. Micah learned from her and my Uncle Wayne out in Arkansas, and she is the same way. James Williams is the same way because his family plays, his mom and all them play too. So I called in service and had to play. And I was holding the domino to catch the last trick, thinking that I knew what my partner had. But I was wrong. And it came down to the last trick, and it didn't work out. So here James Williams goes, why in the world would you still have that domino? Why are you holding on to that of all things? And no. And I had had enough of that game plan and that across the table coaching, which, you know, that across the table talk, my granny would have, boy, that got in her eye like onion. But James Williams, them are big time cheaters. They're cheating from way back. They talking across the table. They'll be, you have to watch them. They be sending each other hand signals and everything. Cheaters. So he's fussing because I held this wrong, and I had just had enough. This had been going on forever. Like I said, this poor boy, nice family, nice, quiet family. I had it. I knocked all those dominoes off, down, and across the table, out in the floor. I said, I hate this game. And I got up and walked off. Bless his heart. He was just like, and just froze. And so I am the queen of losing it. So Jan, I am feeling you about chunking them readers, because when I get enough, I have had enough. James Williams has told me over the years, you're going to end up in a Mexican prison when we've been in Mexico, and I've lost it. And when it gets there, it gets there. And it is just coming undone. It don't matter. It don't matter. My daddy told people before, he told a guy that he worked with one time, that he was a couple years older than me, but he had just gone to work with daddy and them and told me he wanted to go out with me. And my daddy said, boy, I thought you were smarter than that. I didn't think you was into putting wildcats in sacks, because that's what happens when I get crosswise. Lord have mercy. Sherry said her husband says that if he kicks out, that she'll have a young man moved in there in 2 weeks. She says no, she's done, and I'm feeling that. But James Williams has a list of people we know that he says will be knocking the door down to get down here when he kicks out. He says, they won't even get me to the funeral home, and there will be this list of people lined up outside. And I'm like, well, good luck to them, because let me tell you what's going to be on the other side of that door they're lining up at. Me and my boot knife, okay? Because no. Sherry, I'm with you. I can't see me going round 2. I just can't see it. I cannot see it happening. So, Sherry, I think your husband and my husband are both wrong. Because if he kicks out, I'm inviting a bunch of my friends to move in. I'm turning this into an art commune. So, there you go. Stitching with the Sisterlies, I'm going to mention the Halloween party. The virtual Halloween party, they contacted Teresa Kogut. So, there's still no particulars ironed out, all the things yet. But it's going to be super fun, and we're going to have a big time. So, we're going to have some kind of a Halloween party. We used to have them all the time. When the kids were small, I'd have kids' Halloween party, and then we had an adult Halloween party. And I love me some Halloween. So we're all going to get us to have some kind of a Halloween party, no matter what. So Stitching with the Sisterlies and Teresa Kogut, and I don't know who all else, but it's going to happen. It's going to go down. Cindy asked about my Amazon tree, my little stocking tree here. It is off of Amazon, and it's an Easter tree. It came with some little Easter eggs, and then it has little lights and one has a timer on it, and then one stays on all the time. But it has this little base on it, and I'll try to remember to put the link in there, but I found it on Amazon, and it was just an Easter tree. And then I just put my little Patriotic stockings on here. Because I have little black trees like this that are not lighted, that I usually put my Halloween little socks on there, but I didn't have anything to put my red, white, and blue socks on, and putting them on the black scary tree was really kind of depressing and scary. So I didn't want to do that, especially not in these bad times. I ain't trying to call no bad juju down. Let me just say that right now. We got enough bad juju going on around here. This whole world, country, everything. We don't need no more bad juju called down. So I wasn't trying to put no black Halloween tree with my red, white, and blue stockings on it. So I had ordered that for Easter, and it worked out fabulous. So I hope they still have one. It wasn't expensive at all, maybe like 20 bucks. I mean, I've had one in the past that was taller, but I couldn't, it finally broke and wore out, and I think I must have tossed it when we moved because the base was all broke. So that one has worked. I've loved it. And the girls go by and turn the lights on several times a day, and then the next one will come by and turn them off because, you know, that's what they do. Lori had asked about the colors for my Patriotic house trio. I don't think I put them here where I can grab hold of them, but I did write them down if I can read my writing. Let's see. DMC White. Classic Colorworks colors are Caterpillar, Deep Blue Sea, Cauldron, Desert Mesquite, Ribbon Red, Used Brick, and Amber Waves. And then I only have one Gentle Arts in there, is Forest Glade. So those are the colors that I'm using on my Patriotic house trio. I don't think those are maybe not any of the called fors because I usually don't have them. And like I said, my LNS really, you can go up there and walk through, but they're trying to just do curb pickup. And also I just usually just do a stash dive and grab something I think will work. And Liz had asked about, no, Liza, sorry. Y'all, my writing, ugh. Had asked about the sampler that we were selling. It is Wild Hedgerow House by Jane Greenough. Wild Hedgerow House sampler here. And we'll look at it again in a minute. But it is, she does offer a kit. I think it's $30-something to get the whole kit. I decided to try, I just stash dived and did mine. So I don't know if I'll be happy about that or not when it's all said and done, but we shall see. Cheryl, oh, she said, this is the other Lizzie Kate. Cheryl had been in Old Town Needlework in Scottsdale, Arizona, and she said they had a lot of Lizzie Kate charts. So any of y'all looking for anything specific, you might check at Old Town Needlework in Scottsdale, Arizona. She said it was a beautiful shop. They were super great, and that they had a lot of Lizzie Kate charts. So you guys might call over there and see if they've got what you're looking for. Shelly, and I forgot to grab the chart, had said that she has the City Stitchers Liberty Sampler. I don't know if y'all remember, right around July 4th maybe, I showed some of the patriotic pieces that I did not get started and that I wanted to get done. And one of them was the Liberty Sampler by City Stitcher. I think Lisa Kindred Stitcher, I think, started it. I don't know if she's finished it because I'm so behind on my Flosstube watching. The girls don't like me to watch anything but what they want to watch. And with James Williams getting home early, then it goes straight to his TV time. So I'm not getting any Flosstube time in much, so I'm so behind. But next week, hopefully I can get caught up. So, but maybe in January we can sell that. So if any of y'all have it, that'll get us past our Christmas stitching and everything. And maybe we could start it in January. It's got a big blocky house in it. So maybe if we did it in January, we could have it ready for display for summertime. Because I like to put mine out on Memorial Day, the May one. Is that Memorial Day? Yeah, this is Labor Day, Memorial Day. Yes, Memorial Day. So I like to put it out then. Lisa says to the virtual Halloween party, she's coming as a cross-stitch police. And I think that's hilarious. And I think that's fabulous. So everybody, y'all, start thinking about some costumes because that's going to be fun. Lori said she uses the bigger green clover quilt clips to hold fabric, because I showed y'all my little bitty ones like this that I use to hold my fabric when I got it rolled up in hand, and these kind of help hold it in place so that when you adjust your hand, it doesn't all come undone. Evidently, there's bigger ones of these. So I am going to Joann's this week, and I'm going to try to find them. Joann's, you better get ready. I may be just hanging out in there every day. And then on Autumn Chalk Talk, which I'm dying to start, Lori says she's using Cyprium, and Candace K, which she's showing on her latest Flosstube, which I haven't got to watch yet, but she does have some pretty things on there. I've got to watch her a couple of times. She's using Dusty Green Jobelin, and I bet that's beautiful. I've heard people using brown too, so I bet that's kind of like the Cyprium. So y'all think about that before you're starting them. If you have a hard time seeing on the black, that doesn't mean that you can't stitch these pieces. Mine is not black at all, it's just a dark gray, that I just dye, but I know somebody uses, somebody makes, is it Picture This Plus? Somebody makes one that's called like Dirty Chalkboard or something, so it's like a grayish, you can stitch on that. So just because you can't see on black doesn't mean the chalkboard pieces are, you know, are out for you. Don't think that, especially the chalk writing, a lot of people think it has a lot of writing on it. It won't, but that's not true. Look in the January, even on the cover or in my Instagram, the winter chalk talk piece I did on the gray even weave that I dyed, and I loved it, and I can see it, but I cannot see on the black because, well, I'm blind. Even after eye surgery and contacts and all that, I'm still blind, but that's okay. I'm not as blind as some people. It can be corrected, so I'm terribly thankful. So yay. Gail asked about the glue I use. Instead of the hot glue, I use, and I'm gonna show you, this is how I seen Vonda do it, like this, so it stays ready to use all the time. It's Eileen's Tacky glue. Let me hold it up here, real close. And I'm about out, but it works great. It starts sticking pretty quick. You don't have to sit there and hold it for 5 minutes or anything. It's fabulous, and I use it all the time. And I missed somebody's comment. Carolyn, I see my things here, so this made me realize I need to go back to it. She was so sweet and said my makeup always looks like kind of natural. Well, I think it's because I must change makeup colors throughout the year because we go out in the sun so much, even with sunscreen we tan. But this is just what I use. I use Rimmel Stay Matte, and right now I'm in 305 Buff or whatever that is, but it's by Rimmel, and it's Stay Matte. I just get it at the grocery store, at the drugstore, whatever. It's not expensive at all, and that's what I use. And I like it. My face is really oily, and if I'm not real careful about what I use, it just slides right off, and then I don't have nothing on. And then a couple of weeks ago, somebody asked about my eyeliner. I just use like a cheap color pencil. This is like Wet n Wild one. It's just I usually use a black one, but this is my little thing, and y'all, I know it looks dirty, but I wash it all the time. It's just a little brush of a thing, and I just kind of smear out the edge of it, and that's what I use. And then like mascara, so thank you very much. But I meant to show that a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to pick up that makeup, so thank you, Carolyn. Oh my gosh, Kim was talking about a text message getting missent. Technology will do me wrong whenever it can. Anytime it can, technology will do me wrong in the most horrendous ways. And I don't know how many of y'all on here are any kind of Baptist or evangelical type of religion, okay, type of Christian religion. But if you are or are not, if you are, you know what I'm talking about. If you are not, at youth camp, they have altar call, which they have altar call every Sunday at these churches, okay? Every church they have altar call, and you can go down and talk to the preacher and, you know, get in touch with Jesus and all this, okay? But at the youth camp, you know how kids are all emotional and everything anyway, so it is a big deal, and there's just truckloads of kids going down. It's very emotional, and kids are crying, and oh my gosh, it's people singing, and James Williams is and always has been Baptist, and he wanted the kids raised Baptist, and so I said, okay. So we're at church camp, and I was one of the, you know, helpers. went along. And as kids come in, I mean, it's a huge auditorium. I'm talking thousands of kids in here, okay, giant place. And, you know, as people come in, you're just scooching in, scooching in, scooching in. So we had sat down here, and I'd put my backpack in front of under the pew thing in front of me, right? Well, as people came in and it got more and more crowded, we scooched in, scooched in, scooched in, scooched in. Well, I had turned my phone off because we were going into the church house. Turned my phone off, turned it off, turned it off. During the altar call, when people are praying and crying and no other sound hardly but some quiet music in the background. It's kind of like funeral home music. It's like real like backgroundish, because you need to be hearing the preacher talking quiet at the same time like this. And he's talking in the microphone, reaching out to everybody, and the quiet music. My ding dang phone starts ringing. And I think it was playing Highway to Heaven, something horrific. Oh my gosh, well, guess what? My phone ain't in front of me anymore. No more, no more. So I have to fall down on my hands and knees, and I'm crawling in between the pews because it's dark in there. They turn the lights off so that nobody can see you raising your hand and all this. Anyway, it's a thing. But it's dark, so I can't see my purse. I'm having to try to feel under the pew in front of me and go down, work my way down to try to find this ding dang phone and make it shut up. Lord have mercy. So Kim, I'm feeling you about a missent text, because anytime technology can do me wrong, it will do me wrong. Every time. Every time. Technology hates me. And I kind of hate it back, but that's okay. We know where we stand with each other. Shingle Spring Stitcher says that this pillow pad, that she saw a commercial and that they have, it's at www.pillowpad.com. So if any of y'all haven't been able to find one, I know a lot of y'all were sweet and sent in that they were at different stores around y'all that had them. But if anybody doesn't, that they have like a website. Teresa and I think Sharon maybe sent me Whispered by the Wind. Go look at their page, whisperedbythewind.com. They have a real cute, they have a lot of cute freebies, but they have a real cute like freebie of some crows up in a tree. It's really cute. So that one is, that one's really cute, and I wanted to be sure and say that one. Stitchy Kindnesses this week. I got 2 beautiful cards, one from Cleta, and y'all, this is the coolest thing. And I had to fight tooth and nail to keep the girls from stealing this one, because y'all know they love them a card, and they take them and put them with their stuff. But I like, y'all gotta leave these. Shook has to have these. Look at this. It has a little quilted heart on there. How cute is that thing? I loved it. And it's a little, it's like it's a pin. Like you can wear it. So it's got a heart pin as part of the card. So thank you, Cleta. Cutest thing. And but like I said, the girls, boys, I have to fight to keep cards from them. They love them some mail, and they love them some cards. And then this is from, oh my gosh, Liz. And Liz lives in North Rhode Island. She sent me this beautiful butterflies, and she wrote me this beautiful note on here. So thank y'all so much. I love getting cards, and I read them to the girls, and they get so excited when we get mail. They think it's so fun. So I enjoy it immensely, and the girls enjoy it immensely. So it is super kind of y'all to send Stitchy Kindness and cards and things, because they love it. I did get a little bit of haul this week. I wasn't expecting it. My Just Cross Stitch Christmas 2020 came in the mail. And it has, of course, a chameleon things in here. And I don't know if they don't have them on the back page like they do when it's the regular time. But there is some really, really cute things in here. But there's this one that is this little Santa, and he is so cute. And y'all know I love me a Santa Claus. Look at him. Oh my gosh. And he is by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I think we've talked about them before. They have like PDFs and things. But look at him. He is so dang cute. There's a million cute things in here. I mean, just a million. I mean, this really is a very good issue. This year has so many super cute things in here. And I was just, of course, the girls love them peacock. So, I mean, there is just tons and tons of really nice. And there's one by Liz Allman. There's a black work one in here by Liz Allman. I mean, there's all the cute things in here this time. So here's some flambingos, and look at the Santa on the whale. Can y'all see him? So adorable. And he is by Artist Design. So there are just adorable, adorable things in here. So if you don't have this, it's nice. It's got a lot of good patterns in it. Beautiful to look through. And then it has all the recipes in the back. So that's always fun, because y'all know I love me a recipe. Okay, now we are on to whips. All the whips, which now I probably have too far away from myself to reach because this morning I spread things out like a kook. Lord, hold on, stretch, stretch. See if I can get these things going here. Okay. Everybody got a little bit of love this week. Nobody got a whole ton of love, but we had Justin's birthday, Mimi's birthday, all the things this week, all the funness. So that is fabulous. So this is my Drawn Thread, Welcome Autumn by the Drawn Thread. I ordered it as a kit from them. It comes with the fabric and the silk thread comes with it enough to, not full skeins, but enough to do the design. So if you want to try silks and maybe a smaller, because I think it comes with maybe 28, I think it's 28 count linen. So if you want to try some linen or want to try some silk threads, this is like $30. So it's not, and it's like $4 or $5 shipping, maybe $3. It's not bad. So this is probably a good route, and it's beautiful. I love their designs, and it's on my red toolbox. I did switch the living room around the other day when I was sweeping under the furniture, so. But mine, that was a little bit too much brown for me. Here are all the beautiful colors of it, of all these beautiful silks. They are really nice, but that is a little bit too much brown for me. I can't live that brown life. I just can't. So I changed my letters to this, and I think it's 4055, although I'll never be able to see it. Somebody could go stand over at the door of the bedroom and hold this for me so I could read it. I think it's 4055, but I can't swear to that. And I know it won't focus on it, but there it is. It's like just lightly variegated. And that's what I decided to do my letters on with. So that's my letters. I've got E, L, and C. And I hope that's somewhat in the viewfinder. But I am loving working on this. The silk is really, really nice. The blue I'm loving with it, and I kind of do some of my back stitch as I go, but I'll probably have a finish of this week. So this will probably be next week's share, I'm not sure, but I'm loving working on this. I love doing the other ones. It's a beautiful stitch, it's a beautiful pattern, and the silks are super nice. So if you want to try one, this is a good one to maybe try and not have to dump a lot of money into it. So if you want to try some linen, it's a super stiff linen. So if you hoop it, it won't matter. In hand, I like something stiff, but if you like something real smooth, it may bother you. But I'm loving it, and I love the blue on there. So that's working out fabulous for me. Like I said, I wanted it to be a plum color, but I didn't have, and I looked all through my stash, and I didn't have a plum kind of color. So because I like plum and orange kind of colors together, but I didn't have one, so oh well. Next, we have Wild Hedgerow House, which I showed the picture of a minute ago by Jane Greenoff. You can order the kit. You can get this book, which is Cross Stitch and Antique Samplers. This is the anniversary edition. It's in the original edition too, though. Here is kind of the picture, if you can see it somewhat in the book. I need to make a good copy of it, and so I can hold it up easier for y'all to see. But I've worked on it some. For the red on the letters, I'm using 4205. It's a DMC, it has a lot of variegation, and I love it. And then my border, I think, is Freedom. Yeah, Gassed Freedom, which is one of my, I love that color. And this is Toast by Stitch Me, is the fabric. And I am loving this guy. He got a little bit of love. I got the C finish, the D, and a little bit more, I think, to start on the M maybe. I didn't get a ton done on him at all, but every week if you work on it, it just whittles away at it a little bit. So some of y'all are really making great fast progress, but I'm just working on everything a little bit at a time. And I jumped in, you'll see in a few minutes, I worked on some smalls to just break up the monotony this week. But I love this Toast by Stitch Me. It's super, super nice. It feels so nice. It's a beautiful variegation in it. I'm loving this fabric. So she has, I think it's bestitchme.com. So if you want in that fabric, it is so nice. Then We talked about my Patriotic house, and here are what the colors look like on here. And I am loving this guy. The Patriotic House Trio. I squeezed all mine in together. I'm gonna make them into, I wanted to stitch them together, and then Anne sent me that she had done one of the other house trio series in a drum, and it was so cute. So I'm gonna do these in a drum, and I got, I don't know if I had done America last week or not, maybe, but I know I did started on the border up here, and I squeezed them all in really tight. I want them like a neighborhood, like they're all really close with each other. So I have a little birdhouse on one end, a flag on the other end over the blue house, and then there's some little quilt triangles, squares, I mean, over the yellow house. And then just my borders finishing, and I'll be ready to put this guy to bed. But he has been super fun stitch. He's on 28 count tea-dyed even weave that I got from Down Sunshine Lane. She usually carries it. It's my favorite fabric, and so I have loved stitching on this. It is a fun piece. You can grab it and go with just that many colors. It is fabulous. The other one, which I did on the back side of this board to try to make these things easier, is my Signs from Heaven, which is my beautiful one that Lori sent with a cardinal in it. And I did figure out something this week why I'm having a hard time seeing this one. If I have my contacts in, even with my readers, I can't see it really well. But if I don't, and I discovered it too late this week, if I don't have my contacts in, I can see it so much better. And then without my contacts in, but with readers on. So this is on, I think it's Coffee Club by Be Stitch Me. It's a beautiful fabric. I am loving the feel of the fabric. I'm loving the look of the 3371 on it, which is what the letters are done in. And I'm loving stitching on it, but I think it's because and it's the 28, but I think it's a 28 before she dyes it. So I think it's probably pretty closer to a 30 maybe, because it is tighter and the variegation in it is so good that when I'm holding it in hand, it, you know, it kind of bends like this because it's a nice soft fabric. Well, that in combination with the contacts, I can't see it good. But without my contacts in, with my readers on, I can see it much better. So hopefully, since I discovered that, this will help me immensely this week with it. Because when I realized that, when I was working on the last letters, I'd gone to take my contacts out and I was like, hey, this is so much nicer. Leave it to me. And this has all the beautiful colors for that, so you can see how gorgeous that thing's gonna be. And this beautiful, like I said, thread keep that was hiding down in the bag. I swear I emptied that thing 72 times, so Lori's gift just kept on surprising me and making me happy. And it's Darlie told me it was Charlie Harper, which was, this whole thing was fortuitous because he has, and maybe Stitching Rhodey did it, and I think I talked about it last week. It's a little cardinal in a bird bath, and its little wings are like it's like washing off. And I could not remember if she stitched it, who stitched it, and I hadn't been able to find it. But Darlie made a comment that it was a Charlie Harper, and that made me able to go find it. So I've got to get the pattern for the little bird bath Charlie Harper cardinal because it is so cute and I love it. So thank you again, Lori. Let's see what else. And the last one is my May Health and Peace. And I think one of y'all last week said the attic had it too. So my LNS has this. This is May Health and Peace by My Lady's Needle. Here it is finished, all stitched up. It is, Gloria just killed it on this thing. It is beautiful. So beautiful. The girls were so excited because we started on the peacock this week. There's the threads for it. I think I'm in the, kind of in the view. There we go. And it's a biggie. I don't know if I can even get it in. Yeah, there it is. So here it is here. And this week we got, I just barely started this little emblem. We finished this one and we got started on the peacock. So they were so crazy excited that we got started on the peacock. They loved it. They were so this one is coming right along and I'm loving working on it. We're getting near the end of the end, so that's gonna kind of be a sad day because this has been a good friend through all the, because I started this right before Corona. I got to go to one stitch in at the stitching edge before all this madness began. And so then I think they had one more that I didn't get to go to, and then Corona hit, so okay. Then I did have 2 finishes this week, which is exciting. The first one has already gone to Laura. After I mailed it and after I sent it with my daughter to the mail, I will put the second, somehow this piece got left out. It's just, it's the color key. I mean, the chart is colored. You could go ahead and start it, but it has the color key on here, so sorry. I don't know how I did that, but I did not get this in here. But I stitched up, I told you I was gonna stitch up one more little Halloween Hoopla Halloween, holiday Hoopla Halloween. And these are, I use these hot mess of colors right here. This is one of the fabrics that I dyed and then I painted on with a fabric medium because I wanted her to look like a spooky sky. The other 2 I did were on the green background and I wanted her to look like a spooky sky, and I do think I like this like way better. I've got to put her little broom on the end, which is super easy. I've done it on the other 2 I did. This is a fabulous stitch. I think it's still available at shops everywhere, but it's the Holiday Hoopla Halloween. It's super fast. It's, what is it, like 62 by 62 maybe? 52 by 52. So you can stitch this little gem up super, super quick. And it is so cute, so cute. And then you have the little broom bristles coming out the back. So I'll have him FFO'd next week. But I love this pattern. I love this little witch. But I really love it on the blue with the kind of spooky sky better than I did on my green. I stitched the other 2 on green, and I like this guy so much better. And I used Gassed Butternut Squash, Apricot Blush, Toasted Barley, Red Plum, and Cinders. Then I have Classic Colorworks, Colonial Copper, and then I have some 310 in there, and then the broom bristles, when I put them on, I make them out of the 783 here. So those are the colors I used on her with just the blue. And you could probably, if you had some Murky or some of those, Murky or Mirage, I think, either one of those, something like that would work just about the same. If you do paint on it, you do have to push the needle through. So if that bothers you, don't do the paint on your fabric, because when I do it, you do have to push it through, so that makes it take a little longer. But I do love that I can kind of control the look of it, and it kind of look like a spooky sky. So it's worth it to me when I want something like really specific kind of a look. So then I finished, and this was one of my fabulous shares last week. It was one of my Stitchy Kindnesses, and I just needed some quick pieces to finish off. I've had some big pieces going, and I wanted some finishes. So the other one I did was the We Won Pumpkins, Heart in Hand. And it is cute. They did it in just browns and 2 oranges, I guess. 2 browns, 2 oranges, and I think there's one other color on there. Oh, there's a little bit of a greenish border, but it's barely green at all. And I needed to brighten it up some, and I didn't have that little bird, so I kind of fudged me a little bird on there. So I did green border and green words, and then I did my 2 pumpkins, and then I just looked at the shape of the little bird and kind of like pretended to make me a little bird on there because I didn't have that button, and I wanted to go ahead and make it into a little, I think I'll probably make it into a little pin pillow. I don't think I'll make it into an ornament, but I could be wrong. but it'll probably end up being a pin pillow this week. So, but I just needed to cheer it up a little bit. Y'all know, it's just like the Welcome Autumn. I can't do all the neutrals. It's just too much for me. I have to have something a little brighter in my palette. So, like I said, the little button's adorable, but I didn't want to wait for it to get here from somebody when I ordered it. So I just like, So I just made up my little bird, pretended to make him up. So those, I have 2 finishes this week. Holiday Hoopla Halloween with a needle and thread, and We Won Pumpkins by Heart and Hand. And We Won Pumpkins by Heart and Hand, I used all DMCs, 320, 402, 3853, 3371, 610. Oh, and then I have a DMC variegated that must have got left laying somewhere because I mixed it on this one right here. This one is a mix of, which I ended up, I don't think I used 3853. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. The variegated pumpkins are a mix of 402 and the variegated DMC, which would work with any variegated orange. But I was afraid if I didn't blend the needle, because they're such tiny pumpkins, they would end up looking stripedy. So if you want to kind of take your variegation down or make sure it's not going to look as harsh, you can always blend your needle with one solid color and one variegated color. And then, because on tiny things, you can end up with looking like really blotchy because they're so small. So for what it's worth, that's what I would do. Then this week's, where are we at now? Woohoo! The share for this week was Oh Glory, here. Oh Glory, and it is, this is my finish of it. Oh, I was gonna brought this over to try this. This is what I put it on, y'all know my little thing here. And when I picked it up to bring it over here, I was like, dang, this is so heavy. What is in here? One of the girls' Halloween turkey projects, which has some little strings on the bottom, and his legs got bent up in here. They must have pulled those out of my Ort jar, which, oh, they did, look. They're continually, or especially our Kyle loves to pull. There is a remote for the fan. I tell y'all, they move them around all the time. My flag is down in here. A dime. Some more threads out of my Ort jars. Lord have mercy. One of their little Patriotic llamas. And a fancy bead. So that's my Old Glory. And like I said, I just keep them in the box like that. So it's the share this week. And it goes to Deborah Watkins, was the share recipient. So Deborah, if you'll get with me and give me your address, I can get it in the mail. And let me look back over here if that's everything. Is that everything? I think I'm forgetting something, but I can't figure out what it is, so oh well. We're just gonna go with that. So then the share this week will be We Won Pumpkins that I finished. So if you're interested in We Won Pumpkins, just use the word pumpkin in your thing. If you're ready for pumpkins, if you're not ready for pumpkins, just let me know. We're supposed to get some like a cool front. When I swam the last 2 days, the water was 82, which is freezing for me. So I've been having to suck it up and jump in and get my swimming in, but it's been kind of raining, so it's just faster to jump in and get my 30 minutes in of swimming, because I could burn more calories and get my heart rate up faster. So so if you want this, if you're interested in this share, be sure you use pumpkin, and have a great week, and I hope it's starting to feel a little bit cooler where you're at, and everybody is safe from all the weird storms and the fires and all the strange weirdnesses. So be nice to each other, enjoy your stitching, and I'll see y'all next Friday. Bye.